One of the more assertive and observant girls had overheard, or maybe just heard, their parents talking about something disgusting and disturbing. There was a teacher at our preschool whose last name was actually Roach. Gross. Not long after the whistleblower informed me and a few others of the news, an emergency meeting was called to order. 4 or 5 of us met at the swing set. Nobody used the swings. They were on the south side of our small chain-linked area, perhaps 15 to 20 feet from Northwest 8th Avenue, which runs east to west through Gainesville, Florida. The swing set was far away from our line of 4 adjoined classrooms, and therefore a decent distance from any eavesdropping grown-ups. In hushed whispers, low and audible tones, we began talking and voicing our concerns. Our fears were worn on our faces, and they could be heard in our small, confident voices. We all suspected the same thing. Mrs. Roach was likely a person who, for whatever the reason, was very much into eating cockroaches. We talked amongst ourselves for a minute or two, then took turns speaking individually. As each of us spoke, it soon became clear we all saw her last name as our main concern. We were partial to this sound, logical conclusion that we arrived at, and even now one has to admit it is a very solid argument, rooted in hard facts and bound by logical reasoning. It was obvious to us that doing nothing was not an option. We intuitively knew that action had to be taken. We were quite young and also quite small. Being physically overpowered was a regular occurrence in all of our lives, as was losing most arguments. At the swing set, everybody who had the desire to be heard spoke their mind and expressed their concerns. At the conclusion of our meeting, it seemed the best course of action, we felt, was to begin a small and effective campaign of sorts. It was to be comprised primarily of inappropriately suggestive and entirely one-sided surveys, which would be combined with rumors and speculation about Mrs. Roach and her proclivities. We set out, but we were diverted by our teacher, who made us eat cookies and drink the juice of apples. The cookies were classics, light brown in color, roundish in shape, with a single round hole in the middle of each. The holes lent well to wearing the cookies as rings on our small growing fingers. That day I could clearly see that we were growing out of such things, and I recall being mildly annoyed watching some of my classmates. Cookie ring fingers and apple juice seemed inappropriate given the circumstances. Immediately after snack time, we began. The one-sided